Greetings everyone, it's Guard here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So as you can see, the Explorer outfit allows us to swing with this little grappling hook. It also allows us to climb up the ledges and grab the chains on these boxes from a little bit further away. Overall, it's a pretty useful little utility suit. Hang on. Oh geez, that was close. Also, these guys with shields, we can just yoink their shields away and it makes us easier to defeat. But I did say I was going to talk a little bit more about the other games in the Magical Quest series. So again, there are three. One of them was actually not released outside of Japan, at least not until it was released on the Game Boy Advance, because this entire series is available on Game Boy Advance. I personally don't really like the Game Boy Advance ones, just because it suffers from what all Game Boy Advance games suffer from, which is a little bit of screen crunch, and oh no, oh, that was close. It's the screen crunch element, and also just, yeah, I mean, oh, whoops, that is a dangerous jump. But anyway, you got the screen crunch element, which is a little unfortunate, and colour palette's a little muted because Game Boy Advance. Other than that, you know, it's a perfectly acceptable way to play it, but yeah, I would much rather play the Super Nintendo versions of all of them, because the second one is also called the Great Circus Mystery, and I like Great Circus Mystery. I think that's kind of a lot of fun. I mean, again, all these games are a lot of fun in my opinion. Great Circus Mystery added the ability to play as Minnie, and not only that, also had co-op, had local two-player co-op, which I would have loved as a kid, because you know, co-op games are always a lot of fun. So we've got to be a bit careful in this area because the wind here will push us down. But we do actually want to go down. As dangerous as it is, we do want to go down because there is a ledge down there that we need to grab. And grabbing that ledge will allow us to get another heart container. Again, not that having more heart containers isn't vital to my success here. But it's, oh, god damn it. I was supposed to be swinging. The problem is, once you've lost momentum with your swing, you cannot get it back. So we're going to try that again, and we're going to try and keep the momentum with the swing. Oh, but the timing on it is weird. I'm gonna hemorrhage all my lives here, aren't I? We just see it happening. Oh, okay. There we go. Absolute nonsense when you think about it. Now that other one should be... Yes. Ah. Well, what we can do is we can just sort of use our hook to just sort of stay along the bottom of the stage. Ooh, that's close. And then there can be a platform, which oh well, we've got the heart piece, so that's absolutely fine. That's all I wanted to do. Because now I can stay along the upper path, so you can kind of see what happens along here. Just platforming and spikes and bees. Beyond that, I think there is something up there. It's just whether or not it can be bothered to try and get up there. Ooh. Now, obviously, if you do fall down, eventually there's nuts. Oh, you son of a gun! Actually, did I lose my high score when I died? I can't remember. Either way, it doesn't particularly matter. Now, you would have noticed, particularly with... Oh, actually, no. We'll get to it in a moment. think. Right. You. Damn, he's sod. Okay, bye, Mr. B. Just. I thought he was going to continue, haranguing me for a while, but apparently not. Yeah, neat. Right. So yeah, if you end up falling down, you will come up at the bottom there. And actually, this is... I did say all stages had 4 areas. Actually, this is the only area... No. Sorry, I'm forgetting things. This area and the next area all have 3. So with this boss, the reason why I'm grabbing onto these things is as he kind of does his flyby, if you are not grabbed onto one of these things, you'll just fly off the edge of the screen. So we just got to make sure that we sort of grab it, wait for him to do his flyby, grab the egg, throw the egg back at him, and now he's weak. I think it's going to be like another 2 hits. Actually, I've done quite well on this one, because usually this boss is not terribly challenging, but it can be a bit of a pain. And I always love this, when Mickey throws that last egg, because of how close usually his hands are, like, massive. It just looks so silly. But yes. Right. There we go. Maybe my score was reset when I game over. It would make sense if it does, because, well, yeah, you can brute force for a ridiculously high score. But my score was a perfect, a very neat 100,000. That's great. Anyway, we'll continue. Whoops. And at least I get to find out what happened with my score. As I said, I'm pretty sure it does go back to 0. It does. And now the high score is... Whoop. Oh, oh, that's awful. I really didn't like that. So with these like icy blocks, because basically with this area we can't use the climbing outfit. In fact, the climbing outfit is basically no longer like needed for anything. It's a bit of a shame because you get it so late and it becomes functionally useless pretty quickly. But at least we get to use the firefighter suit again. And I think that's kind of where this sort of... This is inherently the problem with this series. Because the games are quite short, we don't really get much of a chance to kind of like utilise the outfits to their fullest. This is definitely a case in the... Hang on. I'm curious. Okay, we get some grapes. Grapes give... which only give us score. That's riveting stuff. Oh, come on. You know what? I'm not, because yeah, if you stayed on that, it would have slingshot me basically into death. Oh, no. Come on. It's pretty impressive that it gains momentum whilst going uphill. That's quite impressive. And jumping out of it, you have a decent amount of momentum as well. So, anyway. Boss, oh, Jesus, we are flying through the second part of this game, aren't we? Because it's now boss time, and this boss is pretty notorious in... I said it's pretty notorious in the retro achievement circuit because you have... quite often you'll have achievements for damageless bosses, and certain bosses like this boss can be an absolute pain. Ah, got him. Because his pattern isn't quite easy to work with, if you can say he has a pattern. He does. I think he has like a couple of preset patterns that he can follow depending on magic, really. I'm not quite sure how they decide it, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, we are now at Emperor Pete's castle. What is it with Pete being like the villain for every Mickey Mouse game going? I say every. Most of them. I'm pretty sure it's like 90% of them. Gee, sure is dark in there. Maybe this isn't the Emperor's castle after all. Why would it not be? Arf, arf! Hey, that's Pluto. Why, that's Pluto's barking. The fact that you can tell Mickey, this must be Emperor Pete's castle. I'll save you, Pluto. Don't worry. I'm doing enough worrying for the both of us. Oh no. Now, admittedly, I did say with the second game, you get to play as Minnie. This is also true of the Game Boy Advance version of this game. They kind of allow you to play as Mickey and Minnie. It's nothing more than a cosmetic swap between like character sprites. But then when we get to the third game in this franchise, Magical Quest, the imaginatively named Magical Quest 3 with Mickey and Donald. In that one, yes, you get to play as opposed to playing as Minnie and Mickey, you play as Mickey and Donald. And in that one, the characters actually have... Oh, excellent. I am going to grab the half magic. I don't need the extra heart piece, truth be told. I'm pretty solid for health for the rest of the game. So I am in a bit of a awful place to be. Oh, how am I supposed to get out of here? Because I must have to make... And then just drag me to the depths with you, fishy boy. But anyway, the thing is with Magical Quest 3, you get Mickey and Donald, and they actually have different outfits. So they play slightly differently, and it's really cool. As well as, you know, having... It's a slightly longer game. Oh. And yeah, I just think it's really cool. Just the advances that they made on Magical Quest technology over the years. Ah, but yeah, I want to be up there, didn't I? Hang on. Let's... Whoop. Come back over this way, because we want to come up here. Oh, no! Oh! Oh, I'm really sorry, buddy. I kind of... Ooh. Just ripped straight through his, like, lining. Ooh. Nasty. So yeah, we want to use magic on the carpet here, because we want to go over this way. You might have thought, well, hang on a minute, there was a statue over the other way. Yeah, I mean, that just leads you to an extra life. So depending on which way you're facing, that's the way the carpet will go in. And we have a very, I always think of stages like this to remind me of the original Earthworm Jim. When you get to, the last areas of from Gym 1. I think the stage is literally called Use Your Head. And the whole idea is that you are sort of navigating a spiky maze whilst using your propeller head. Ooh. I mean, the only reason why I think of Earthworm Jim is because that was the first time I encountered like a challenge like that. I mean, this is pretty standard. This is probably standard from Capcom, truth be told. But anyway, here we go. Let's go through here. Now, I didn't demonstrate these blocks for a second, because you can throw them, and then we should be able to jump on top of them. Though I'm doing a very bad job of getting on top of the blocks. Nope, just... never mind. Let's not worry about it. You get... Right. Come on. We can kind of push that to there. It just means that I can't block the cannon. That's probably not actually going to help me, is it? No, really. Oh, Jesus Christ. The guy's an absolute machine gun with that cannon. No. Damn it. Never mind. Try this again. But yeah, what else can I say about Magical Quest? So yeah, second one's called Great Circus Mystery, and it's actually available on the Sega as well. Sega Mega Drive, Master System, whatever you want to call it. I'm sort of more used to calling it the Mega Drive. At least I'm used to calling it the Mega Drive outside of basically in my day-to-day life, because that's, yeah, I played the good old Mega Drive, but I am used to referring to it as the Genesis for the purposes of talking about it online. If I'm right. Excellent, we've got one more heart piece. So in this area of Pete's Castle, we actually have dummy entrances that lead to rematches with previous bosses. So these like really weird enemies that I've never seen enemies like this again in a Disney sort of venue, if you will. That's actually super. The fact that I lose the flicker on the screen isn't working properly, that's super annoying. Because I'm playing this straight through. Usually I would have the screen sort of displayed on a TV near me, but I've recently just taken to being a bit lazy about it and just playing it straight through OBS. What? Rude. Yeah, I've just taken to straight playing it through OBS just because it kind of makes sense to do it that way. Particularly if I'm not losing any sort of like... If I'm not losing anything in terms of like frame rate and whatnot. So... But maybe I should be more cautious with games like this in the future. Maybe it would be worth opting for, you know, putting it back into the TV. Well, oh, that's interesting. Let's push you over there. Because we can stand on top of these statues. I don't think we've actually done it until this point in this game. But yes, we're going to come up this way. Whoop. There's two up here. Now, one of these leads to Pete. And it's this one. Hey, we're against the final fight with Pete. switch over to our magician's outfit. And yeah, basically, we're using our magic against Pete's magic. Ah, damn it. Now, we could theoretically use the old, whatchamacallit on him, the firefighter suit, I suppose, but the magic is more powerful. At least I think it is. Ooh, that's a really good question. Now, here I thought I could stand on that, because the teeth are coming out the side of it. Oh, that's a wall of death. What a git. Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, okay. That's a slightly different attack he's doing. I'm not quite sure what the, there's a pattern to where he drops all that. Oh, you. I'm gonna die, aren't I? I reckon a couple more hits. Oh! Oh, gotcha! With 1 health left. Nice! Anyway. So yeah, there we go. Oh boy! You sure are a sight for sore eyes. Hey, it's Pluto! You're gonna be just fine. Let's get out of here and go home. Sounds like a fantastic idea, Mickey. Why did Pluto, like, raise off the ground just that little bit? Oh, Pluto, come out! That tickles! oh, because we're in bed. Okay, it suddenly makes sense now. Hey, get out of bed! Hey! Oh, I can't do it. Even if I couldn't do, like, even if I could do Mickey or Goofy as a voice, there is no way I'd be able to do a Donald. But where am I? How did I? Gosh, I guess this whole thing must have been a dream. It must have been a dream, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go play catch in the field. With my abnormally large hands. And there we go. I mean, Donald's there with the ball, but he's just like, he's quite happy just to stand there and like shake his butt about. MX5, crushed by cat. What? Character staff, tool knob. I think I talked about this in a post at some point. Just some of the names of people are just like, back in the day when we didn't credit people properly, we just referred to them by shorthand or nicknames. The executive advisor, Professor F. Thanks for playing. Yep, presented by Capcom. But yes, so that was just a game that I wanted to show off really because I like this game and it's got a little bit of charm to it. The other games, Great Circus Mystery / Magical Quest 2 and Magical Quest Freestyle Mickey and Donald, maybe have a bit more charm to it and they have a bit more polish to them. This very much feels like a proof of concept game, and the concept works. The later games, they do just add to it and make everything better. And that I think is like the most important thing. If a game series is improving over time, then with each iteration, that's fantastic. That's all you want for a series to do. Anyway. With that all said, hope you've enjoyed yourself. There'll be links to my socials in the description below. I'm trying to remember what I'm playing next. It might be Dynastic Hero, which is a TurboGrafx game. Which, if you don't know what Dynastic Hero is, well, you might do. You might have played Dynastic Hero because there's a version of the game on the Mega Drive or Genesis. And it's, it's going to be an interesting one because another game that I really like. I mean, at least I like the Genesis version. I don't know what the TurboGrafx version is going to be like. And that one we will be playing for retro achievements specifically. Um, Both Extermination and this game, we'd already sort of maxed out we'd already pretty much completed the whole thing for retro achievements, but Dynastic Hero, when we get to that, we'll be starting that fresh. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed, you can click on me right there. Otherwise, over there, there'll be some other things you can watch, and I look forward to seeing you when I next do.